hand side of our Feinting Attacks daily, he is Graphics. Representing Clan Imperative Gaming. They have a badass octopus. That's like an evil mastermind octopus there. Holy shit. He like controls all the players and stuff. He's got a pretty cool decal on the ground as well. Not bad. His opponent up here in the top right hand side, representing Clan I Love Hero, it is Gemini. Taking Boy Crush to the next level here, fanboying. Just a little bit obsessed with, I think who most people still think of as Liquid Hero, though of course he's on Revolution Gaming now. I can't remember what his new team is. But anyway, this is Gemini. You guys might know him from All Things Protoss. I've had Gemini on the show a few times as well. So we're going to have to see. I'm pretty sure it will be him playing the challenge, him throwing out some Feinting Attacks. I want to see some sexy stuff. I want to see some awesomeness going on. Riddler says, why do you never cast my games? Mass Ravens are very fun to watch. Yeah, one day I'm going to do a 26-hour daily where I actually cast one of your games, Riddler. Yeah, it's just halfway through I might actually fucking hang myself, man. There's only so many auto turrets you can watch get placed on the ground repeatedly without ever actually trying to make a winning move before you seriously just so fucking bored. So, sorry, Riddler. One day, when I hate myself, I will cast one of your games. Please do keep submitting them. Who knows? Maybe if you can get one under half an hour at one point, I might actually want to watch it. Until then, I'm sorry, dude, but yeah, it's not happening. The number of like hour-long replays you've submitted with like just ravens sitting there, I'm like, come on, man. Come on. This shit is just too much. I only have so many hours in the day. Who knows? People would probably watch that. Knowing you guys, like the StarCraft audience, I'm just as bad as all of you, right? We will be like, this is so dumb. And then we'll like keep watching it, or we'll like tune into it more. And it's like how the old Swarmos games in Heart of the Swarm used to have the most views. You'd be like, this is so fucking stupid. Let me tweet about it and go tell all my friends to come watch. And you're like, it's like a fucking challenger match for EU Challenger, and there's like 50k people watching it, or like, this is so dumb, while secretly feeling like really excited and interested in like how the game is gonna go. I don't know. I think we're a bunch of idiots, maybe. Maybe we don't even understand what we actually like and what we don't. For now, it looks like Gemini is going to come out. He's going to push away this pervert. This here basically is the school police officer. And this here is the mysterious man in the trench coat who keeps peeking over the fence at the kids in the playground. Security officer says, you need to get the fuck out of here or I'm calling the police. And he kind of backs away a little bit. But is he really gone for good? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he's going to be back in a little while to have another peek. He's going to have a little peek, isn't he? Fucking perverts. Overlords really are the creepiest of units in StarCraft 2. But hey, that's just part of the game. Sometimes you need someone to have a bit of a look-see. So down here in the bottom left-hand side, we've got Graphics. He's getting Overlord. Oh, yeah. He's getting... Oh, that's like pervert upgrade. He's got pneumatized carapace on the way. Okay, cool. Gemini, trying to hide what he's up to, is already building Immortals. Ooh. Oh, you know what? There's a really cool double Immortal drop build, which I absolutely love. I saw... Oh, fuck. Who opened up with it? Was it like Zest or something? And the thing... maybe... I've seen Patience do it as well. And the thing is, it's like, it looks so all in, and like, it is a big commitment, but it's such a hard drop to stop. It's kind of like doing an Archon drop. Except your opponent is going to shit their pants like way harder because they're like, oh, it's got to be an all-in. And then you just like take a third base. And then like they keep scouting really hard. And you're like, well, I could probe up my third, or I could just drop 4 gateways and not really probe my third and try to kill you. It's like super flexible and disgusting. By the way, I love the new Immortals. It's like they took an impressionist fucking painter. Not impressionist. They took a very, very high painter. And then they basically said, redesign the Immortal. And there's like that one stoner Protoss who's just dropped a tab of acid and is like, yeah, this seems like a good idea. Oh, let's make everything kind of curved and weird looking. We're going to make the gait, the way it walks, just a little bit more uncoordinated. And just generally, I just want it to have these giant weird arm things. It needs to have a crest, kind of like a bird or something like that. So looks like Gemini here. He's ready. He's got the Warp Prism, the Immortal, the Stalker, the Sentry. He's got the third base on the way as well. Is this just an Immortal expand? This is like the new thing. I saw M. Canning do something like this as well, actually. Here we go. Zealot, Stalker, Immortal. I'm pretty sure all 3 of those units can two-shot You know, any combination of those units can two-shot, or just take all three to kill a drone. I think it might take all three. Either way, one queen is here on the way, but that Immortal's going to make quick work of it. Oh, Gemini, though. Bit of a pansy, is going to back off for now. Just gonna take it easy for this moment. Salvador Dal Immortal. Indeed. It's a surrealist Immortal. I'm with you there, 63. Well, 63, 32, 10. What a Twitch ID. Very personal. Definitely not a robot. Thank you, mate. Twilight Council is down. We got a Forge in the back here. Gemini here is just like, yeah, doing some super passive pressure here. He's like, yo. And Graphics kind of freaked out. He built a lot of Zerglings. He respected the pressure, which is probably a good choice. He's going Baneling speed. Did I see a Roach Warren? Yeah, there's a Roach Warren. So he's probably going to be going Ravagerling Bane, I would imagine. And Gemini here. Oh, he's like the dermatologist right now. And he sees some acne. Oh, burn it off. Burn it off. Yeah, burn off that acne. So right now, he's not really trying to kill workers at all. He's literally just playing Dermatology Simulator. Kill the pimples. Apply some like acid or some shit and get rid of that creep spread. But little does he know that Graphics is a pubescent teenager, and he will immediately replace those with new forms of acne. So Gemini's going to need to come back and do that again if he wants to keep that away for very long. Meanwhile, I love these when they're facing like north or south, and you see like the weird shape of these Immortals. It's cool. I actually do like them a lot. A lot of people have been shitting on the new Immortals. I like to make fun of them, but I actually think they look kind of cool. What do we got here? Charge +1. We got some good stuff going on. Ravages starting to morph back at home. Graphics is going to have a pretty explosive army, and force fields aren't going to be too great against that. So Gemini is going to have his work cut out for him here. Going to have to see what he does. The Immortal looks like half of a Dragoon, according to Botaro Blink. I don't know. It's kind of like a smoother Dragoon, though, right? It's like a little bit smoother. I think that Observer went down, by the way. Ooh, the Observer did go down. So no more removing creep tumors for Gemini. Gemini is just going for charge. Heaps of Immortals. A single Archon in here as well. Does he have a Templar Archives? Oh, he does have a Templar Archives. Cool. So it's just going to be like an Immortal charge lot Archon Sentry timing, I think. He's going to go and try and hit with that pretty hard. He's got a Warp Prism going out on the left. Okay. Come on, Gemini, show us your sexy moves. No Spire for Graphics, so he won't have any way to shut down that Warp Prism unless it sits still and gets biled. So it's just gonna... Oh, it's like faking around there. It's like, ooh, yeah, I totally have stuff in me. Fear me. And now it's just gonna fly back a little bit. All right. Gemini is coming down. He's got some Immortals, Archons, Zealots in the mix. He's going up to a ton of gateways, heaps of gateways. He's gonna have... I think like 9 gateways. That's going to be a really nice count. Make that 11 gateways. Holy shit, that's going to be pretty good. Gemini's going to start warping in charge lots on the 4th. It is time, guys. Okay, he's got the fake attack over here. This is going to try and pull him out of position. He's trying to get Graphics out of the way. Meanwhile, his main army thrusting down there. Those Zealots just going to hold position in those minerals. Try and be as annoying as possible. Absorb a couple Banelings while they're there. The main army moving down the center. He's got a new Observer coming. He really is playing Acne Remover Simulator, dude, because that's like his whole goal here is just to kill creep tumors, I think. Now, where is that Warp Prism? It's still alive. He's going to warp in more Zealots on the back, but he's got to be careful. Graphics has a monstrous army right now. I think it's more than a match for this little force of Geminis. It's all going to be about force fields and pulling back his Zealots to make this work. More Zealots coming in on the left-hand side. Gemini continuing to attack from multiple angles. He's doing this really well. Looks like he did get the active creep tumor up there as well. And starting to warp in a few Zealots in the back as well. But Graphics really well prepared, actually. Graphics is on point, man. He is on point. These Zealots getting cleaned up as they get warped in. More Zealots going in the left-hand side at the same time. He's trying to pull Graphics out of position. He's kind of done it, but Graphics... Oh, he's got Baneling drops ready. Oh, Sentries, Baneling drops. Oh, I'm getting a little bit excited here, guys. I am getting a little bit excited. Now, I think that Warp Prism actually went down. That Queen has a kill. So, yeah, looks like the Warp Prism got focused down. Gemini loses his attacking potential. He does spot these Baneling drops. He's got to be really afraid of that. Does he have High Templar? 6 High Templar. Most of them have a Storm. Half of them will have a Storm in about 15 seconds, but I don't know if he's going to have time for that. If he can hold this choke point, I don't think Graphics can push up there right now. Ooh, drop a Storm! No, landed on the Banelings. Come on, you know you want to. You know you want to. Oh my god, we've got the drops coming in. Storms go down all over everything. Those Baneling drops are kind of marauding around. They're looking very dangerous right now. Graphics. Oh, you beautiful man beast, but it does get focused down. Archon's just doing a little bit too much damage there. Graphics really needed to send those in while engaging with the rest of his army. Got a bit ahead of himself, getting a little bit excited. And now Gemini's force is pretty big. Where are those High Templar? Oh, Observer goes down. If only they had Corrosive Bile in the Matrix. They could have killed those Sentinels so easy. Zerglings on the right-hand side. There's already a little cannon fort here. I don't know if it'll be able to take on that many Zerglings, though. Needs a few gateways walling it in to make sure it can actually stand strong. Stargate's on the way behind this. Gemini. He's going to keep trying to counterattack. We need to see some more Feinting Attacks, guys. For now, it just looks like, you know, Gemini's been trying to make it happen, but he hasn't had that one big decisive pull you out of position and thrust in maneuver. Of course, neither has Graphics. Graphics here finally coming in with a big Zergling counterattack. His main army was just faking him out at the front, but the Charge Lot Warp in is going to be good, and I think that will be enough with this last cannon. Maybe just barely. These are +2 melee Zerglings, and they just shred the shit out of those Zealots. Holy crap balls, man. It's times like these you really do need a DT Shrine. Zealots are going to warp in there, and they're going to get surrounded as well. I think Gemini might lose all of his probes here. Might even lose the base. He's just going to go for it. He's like, I've had enough, man. We've got plenty of Storm. Let's push the front. I've got 8 Cotton Balls up front and center. They will absorb about 67 Banelings. Another Charge Lot Warp in, taking so much damage as it warps in, will finally clean up these Zerglings. And Graphics just going to pull those away. Graphics with some really nice counterattacks so far. And Gemini here, he's getting a Fleet Beacon. Greater Spires on the way for Graphics. Graphics already has Corruptors out. Wants to be going for a big Broodlord timing, I think, here to follow up and finish things off. Banelings morphing. They're going to roll in on this right-hand side. More and more cannons. About 15 seconds from finishing. I think the Banelings are going to get in there before they finish, and these probes are going to get wrecked. Remember, +2 Banelings or one-hit probes. Oh, Gemini was watching. He was watching. Oh, those 3 probes were heroes, man. They turned around. They were like, fuck you. And they just like start tasering a giant fucking balloon of acid. Like, that's a great idea. Oh man, he's going to lose a lot. He's going to lose a lot. He's going to lose a lot. He's going to lose. Oh, God. He just lost like 8 more probes there, bringing the total up to 22 workers killed. Not a single drone has gone down this game. Of course, Gemini all game being a little bit more focused on killing creep tumors and trying to pull him out of position than anything else. Graphics defense has been really on point. Gemini here, just going to roam around with those charge lots. He's got this Immortal, Archon, Sentry, Stalker. Well, there's like 2 Stalkers. And High Templar, most importantly, army here. Few charge lots jump into their death. They thought they were in the Legacy of the Void intro cinematic. Bunch of morons end up getting themselves killed. Charge lot's not the smartest unit. Yeah. They're like, we have lasers, but we want to attach the lasers to our hand and make them fire about, 1 foot, so that we have to run into combat wearing fuck all armor. And we want to melee Zerg because it'll make us proud or some shit like that. I don't know. Seems like a terrible idea as far as I'm concerned, but apparently Zealots like doing that. Mothership is now on the way. And yeah, I mean, Gemini has not been able to find an opening, and fair enough. I mean, Graphics has had a hyper-mobile army all game, and now Graphics is going to go for the big flying moustaches coming across the map, going to throw some Broodlings out. And there really isn't a response for Gemini. Like, he's got 1 Tempest on the way. Cloak is, I guess, a last resort here. If the Archons can get under the Broodlords, he can deal with this. But can he get under there without just getting wrecked by the Ravager Ling Bane? Can he land storms on these clumped up Broodlords? Oh my god, are we going to have a Nurtio moment? Are we going to have a Nurtio moment? Are we going to have a Nurtio moment? Oh god, oh god, oh god. Nurtio versus Neeb, Nurtio versus Neeb. Oh, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Are we going to see Broodlords get... Oh, already 1 good storm goes down and the Archon's coming forward. The ground army is like just running back to defend a drop on the left-hand side right now, but I want to watch this fight more than anything. Those Broodlords taking a lot of damage. That base did go down. Great charge lot counterattack from Gemini. Pulls him back on one side and just rips apart most of the supporting units of that push. Great buying time maneuver here from Gemini. He's got Tempest out now. We've got 1 Tempest there. Where are the other Tempests? We got 3 more on the way, guys. But they aren't out yet. Once he gets 3 or 4 Tempests out, he will be able to just focus down these Broodlords really easily. For now, these Corruptors just having a bit of a peace agreement with this Observer that's standing next to them. Apparently choosing not to deal with it. And Gemini comes in once again. Okay, Gemini, finally. He's doing it the way he wants to. He's feinting at the front, constantly looking like he wants to jump on these broodlords and then counterattacks. And the moment Graphics pulls back for the counterattack, he says, you know what? I might actually just fight you. If you stay out here, I will kill these broodlords. I'm going to swap the, the focus. And rather than using this main army as a distraction, I will jump on those broodlords if they come into the open too much. So, I mean, Gemini is looking for it. He's got Tempest out now. He is looking pretty good. Graphics has lost so much mining. He still has not got that gold base up. This Zealot here is standing strong, man. This Corruptor is looking for that War Prism, and he is going to micro it onto it. But Gemini should be able to fly on out of there with just a little bit of micro. We'll have to see if he does choose to save that. Come on, Gemini. Oh, God, this War Prism pilot is drunk. He's drunk, man. He's been chewing on his dreadlocks a bit too much. What they don't tell you in Protoss school is if you chew on your dreadlocks, you just get, like, super drunk, man. The degenerate Protoss always get put in charge of driving warp prisms. Decides to swap into warp-in mode and warp soldiers in while he's about to get shot down. What an intelligent Protoss you are. Gemini's going to come in now. He's got a buttload of Tempest. 7 Tempests are out. Shoots down the Overseer because that's the most important thing to shoot down. There we go. Shift clicks on the Broodlords. They're all going to go down. Corruptor flank on the north side is going to come in and start focusing down those Tempests. Corrosive Bile trying to take down the Mothership Core, but actually missing it a little bit there. And Graphics here realizing he's in a little bit of a weird spot. Needs to rebuild some more army, but he saves the Ravagers, which is the most important part of his ground army because they are very expensive. Oh, nice Corrosive Bile spread, but he's got to keep those alive until he gets more Zerglings. Meanwhile, Corruptor's over here looking for something to pee on. They're not sure what they can pee on. You only get 1 pee with a Corruptor once every minute or so, so you've got to choose your pee target wisely. You have to think, what can I pee on? What should I pee on? What will I pee on? Looks like no, he's just going to come on home. He's not even going to pee on anything. Okay, Ravagers and Zerglings getting stormed right on their face. Gemini here with this little army. He's got like 4 Immortals, 3 High Templar, and an Archon, and he's still pushing in like a madman. The Tempests are getting separated a little bit here. The Corruptors are going to be able to overwhelm that. A nice Storm lands on top. I think Graphics, not realizing that there's actually not that many units underneath, did pull back there. Stalk is being warped in for Gemini. These are Stalkers without blink, guys. That's a desperation warp in if I've ever seen one. But Gemini is about to get a 5th base up. If he gets that up, he will keep his income going. Graphics over here. He's got his 2 bases back up. What's the income like? I think as soon as this gold base goes up, Gemini is going to be way ahead because his 4th is a lot, nice and fresh. His 3rd, he's got a little bit of mining. The moment the gold base goes up, he's going to have way more income. So as these probes transfer down, we'll check that again in just a minute's time. For now, Graphics desperately trying to rebuild some workers, but that doesn't actually make sense. He needs more bases. He needs more bases right now. He's very low on that income. He's got Corruptors, he's got Ravagers, he's got Banelings, but this Protoss army is getting to that point where it is disgusting. Oh my god. Have you got enough High Templar, mate? He's just like, yeah, I need 8. 8 High Templar. Okay, he'll turn 1 into an Archon. 6 High Templar. Got a couple Tempests, a couple Void Rays in the mix to deal with the Corruptors. Archons, Immortals on the ground. This is a really well-mixed army. So it looks like Corruptors and Broodlords will be the response from Graphics. Going to just try and win the air war. This base just covered in cannons, completely safe. These Zerglings, though, this base is completely open, and they are going to go for it. Ooh, Graphics finds an opening. Goodbye, probes. Nom, nom, nom. Whole bunch of probes go down, and remember, these are +3 melee adrenal gland Zerglings. They tear apart Zealots. They tear apart just about everything. Like, you need to have splash damage to deal with this unit. They are the most efficient unit outside of the fact that they're very weak to splash damage. Void Rays coming in though, Tempest going in. Nice Neuroparasites, Graphics here, but he's got to bring the ground army into support. He hasn't brought the ground army and he's losing the Neuroparasite. The Void Rays shooting his own units, his Corruptors coming in as well. Gemini's ground army a little bit too strong. There's still only 2 Broodlords in the air. I don't know if there's enough on the ground here for Graphics, and it looks like Graphics has been overwhelmed, even while completely killing that front expansion of Gemini. Gemini's army is just too strong. There's just too many Immortals and Archons. Graphics, mostly won that air fight, but it wasn't enough in the end. And even though these Zerglings make mincemeat out of cannons, there's just too many cannons. And eventually there's enough mincemeat that, like, you just get your claws stuck in the mince and you fucking die. And that's pretty much what happened right there. Gemini playing a very nice game. Constant Warp Prism harass. Constantly coming in with the positioning, moving in and out on both sides. Not a bad Feinting Attack game. I was pretty into that. And it kind of went through every stage of the ZVP as well. So very nicely done. Thank you very much, Gemini, for submitting that replay. That was very beautiful. Beautiful. All right, guys. So we will hop straight on into the next game. Core Dragon, thought changelings will be cloaked as well. Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that. So you can actually tell, that there's changelings in your army because they won't get cloaked. But then again, you don't really notice which of your units are cloaked and not that much, right? They kind of turn blue. Maybe it does make it obvious. I'll keep an eye out for that next time.